L'hymne national de Tunisie.
We're closing in on the start of the second day at the FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017. Central African Republic and Tunisia both facing a more winnable game than the ones they respectively lost on game day one. Disappointing, but perhaps inevitable starts for these two teams yesterday. The Central Africans falling to a 47-point defeat to the Ivory Coast, 104-57. Tunisia getting blown away by the host Mali, losing by 38 points, 86-48. Former Czech international Teresa Brantlova alongside me, Tim Long, for this one. Teresa, how important is this game for these two nations? How damaging would it be for either to start with two defeats?
That's never great beginning into the tournament to start with two defeats. So for sure it's gonna leave a little stamp on the mentality of the players if they lose this game. You know, the schedule is tough. There are 6 teams in each group and only 4 teams are gonna go into quarterfinals to play for the first 8 for the even chances to win this championship. So I would say every game counts at this tournament. So definitely we can expect from both teams to get into this game fully with whole speed, with intensity. But I would definitely say that Tunisia is slightly more favorite team at this game because Central African Republic, it's their first appearance in almost 5 decades. And that's just something incredible. I think the players should just realize that, you know, and enjoy every game at this tournament.
Both teams hoping to go 1-1 rather than 0-2 on the first 2 days of the competition. They do play 3. And as Teresa said, the top 4 of the 2 6-team groups go through to the final 8, the quarterfinals, and from there a straight knockout all the way to crowning an African champion next Sunday. We see the Tunisian bench here, competing in AfroBasket for the first time since 2011 when they finished in 10th place here in Bamako with a 3-4 record. And the bench on the opposite side of the floor for the Central African Republic, competing for the first time in 4 decades at this tournament. A deserving wildcard entry, I think, because they lost a qualifying playoff 117-109 on aggregate against neighbours DR Congo, a very tight scoreline for a team that hadn't competed at these finals for 40 years. Tunisia only qualified, in fact, because of Morocco's withdrawal, but their preparation has benefited from the fact that they're also playing in the ongoing Arab Championships back in Cairo.
What I think will play in favour of Tunisian team as well is that they have faced Mali yesterday in the game, which the atmosphere was just incredible in here, and it's always tough to play against the home team. And to be honest, I think the first half they've played quite decent game. You know, the second game, Mali has just speeded up their game, their athleticism they have at this tournament. But that's been a great first game for Tunisia to warm up enough for today's game.
The number 5, Huda Hamrouni, was the key player, standout young player from a new generation of Tunisian talent. She led the team with 12 points yesterday, 4 of 6 shooting. And on the opposite side of the floor for the Central Africans, Betty Kossi, their star, had game highs of 22 points and 12 rebounds in their big defeat yesterday. She was doing it all, 8 of 14 from the field. They didn't have...
How many players going to in qualifiers? She averaged 13 points per game and 8.5 rebounds. That's almost double-double. But unfortunately, yesterday we haven't seen many of her teammates to support her in her performance.
Final preparations. Save it to the last second. Here we go then, the start of game day 2 at the 2017 Women's AfroBasket. Myself, Tim Long, alongside former Czech international Teresa Brantlova, ready to talk you through the action. Central African Republic against Tunisia. As the Tunisians looking for a positive start. Outside shot off the mark from Ben Meklia, who led the team with 4 assists yesterday, but she shot just 1 of 9 from the field. This is her first shot here. Here's Kossi. 22 points in that defeat yesterday, and she has an opportunity to get on the board very early here.
And she plays 36 minutes per game, you know, so we will see her a lot today to play, and Tunisia needs to find a way how to stop her if they want to go ahead and lead this game.
She misses the first foul shot of the game. It will be a little bit of an uphill battle, you feel, for the Central Africans. They'll need to take every opportunity that comes their way, every good opportunity. She splits the pair at the line here to give them the slenderest of leads at the start. Sadek. Now Nasrier across to the far side. They swing it to the corner. It's a good open look. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Lubiri hits the 3.
You could see that Ben Mechila, she wasn't confident because she took the first shot at the beginning of the game. She missed. So that was a great unselfish play from her to show the ball to her teammate.
A couple of offensive rebounds for the Central Africans here as they move it across to Yagba, looking to step to the baseline, force backwards. Only 5 left on the shot clock to work with here. Off the offensive rebound, they force up another shot. They've missed 3 in a row there and failed to score their first field goal.
In this situation, I think Kossi should have taken that one-on-one penetration against Nasriya because she's way taller and slower than her. But instead, she has decided to give the ball to her teammate.
Complete breakdown in the defense. Jadidi Misteri, the player to profit. Tunisia up by 4 points. They just let her get away. Trying to balance on the baseline was Kossi. It's not quite come together for her so far in the opening minute and a half. A missed free throw, a missed shot, and then a turnover. Ben Meklia. Nasriya coming out to try and set the screen, then moved away. Ben Meklia, the little bounce pass into Jadidi Misteri, who's fell.
You could see Tunisians' offense has been loads of movement. There's been a main action pick and roll on the top of the key, but the rest of the 3 players has been running on the baseline, you know, to make a defense work, and that's exactly what happened, and they punished it because the defense haven't seen that penetration, and when they've seen it in the last second, they just went and tried to save that, and straight away there was the open teammate down on the rim. Great play from Tunisian team.
There's been a real fluidity about their play in the opening minute and a half. And it's showing on the scoreboard as well, where they now lead by 6, 7-1. Kossi. What's she going to do this time? Looking to get it back here. Looking to attack straight away, although guarded on the far side was Yamalet. Another turnover.
From these past 2 minutes of the game, I would say that's going to be a tough game for Kossi today. There's no intention from her teammates to join her and contribute in this game so far.
Sadek to the foul line. Into the final 10 seconds of the shot clock as it goes across to the far side to Ben Meklia. Bounce pass off the baseline, almost found its way to Jadidi Misteri. There's a whistle on the play.
There's been a difference between these two past possessions of Tunisians' offense. The first one has been a movement. Everyone was running on the court now. We've seen just one player penetrate. She pulled up the dribble and she had no teammate open to pass to.
Good low post play by Nasria, attacking 3 of them, drawing the contact. So she goes to the line for 2. A veteran of a couple of previous tournaments at this level. She's previously been a key scorer for them, but also a key role model to the young players that are coming through, many of whom have made their debuts at a major tournament just yesterday. Well, they've dribbled it straight into the hands of Ben Meklia in the backcourt. Tunisia scrapping for every ball. Ben Meklia to Nasria. Again, a whistle. It's a foul called in the paint on Yagba. That's 3 fouls already in 2.5 minutes and an 8-point deficit. And perhaps inevitably we're going to have a timeout with the Central Africans in real trouble here. They've still not scored a field goal 2.5 minutes in. It's the Central African Republic 1, Tunisia 9.
Tunisia plays at the moment really organized game. You can see that they know they're a stronger team in this game, and all the favors plays in everything plays in their favor. They just have no reason to rush this game. You know, they've been leading by 8 points at the beginning of the game. Great beginning for them into this game. And also we can see that Nasria is using her advantage in her high as well, because there's no player in Central African Republic's team to guard her down under the rim, so we will see a lot changing the rhythm. She's going to get loads of touches in today's game.
So we come back off the timeout with the Central Africans looking to try and turn this one around. It's been a terrible start for them after 2.5 minutes, just 1 point from 1 foul shot, and failing to score from the field. Tunisia have looked vibrant and energetic, and certainly have put themselves in pole position in terms of trying to get their first win of this tournament. Bounce pass straight into the lane, and another foul, so that's 4 fouls on the Central Africans in just over 2.5 minutes.
And Kossi would have to manage her fouls in today's game, because she's a absolutely key player for Central Republic African team.
At the line is Imen Jadidi Misteri. This is the first. The Central Africans 0 of 3 from the field so far. Tunisia 2 of 3, and they were 4 of 4 from the line before those missed 2. Yagba back to Kossi across to the far side. Kossi will inevitably look to try and get back on it. The attack from the perimeter, guarded on the foul line though. Finding a route inside but missing the shot was Gegbalet. Missing a couple, and they still can't score. 0 of 5 from the field. Saleh towards the baseline, forced backwards to Nasria. Benmeklia will just slow it down, look to dictate the tempo. And that is foul number 5. We've played 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
That's not a good sign of Central African team. If they're gonna continue like that, there's gonna be no players probably play by the end of the game. They really have to manage their fouls. Because this foul just sent straight away Tunisian player on the foul line and give them 2 free throws for no reason, because she wasn't even attacking the basket. She was just going, using her screen.
Yeah, a real waste of a foul. It's going to put them in further trouble. Chance for a double-digit lead. They can't quite take it, but they do get the offensive rebound, and then there's an offensive foul call. That's the second on Tunisia.
We see that Tunisian team doesn't want to underestimate anything, and they straight away go to full court pressing to not give Central African team any space to create.
Both Tunisian fouls on Jadidi Misteri, the number 9. Yagba across to Gombalet. Gombalet looking to feed it in towards the low post. Nasria had stuck to Kossi, and they turn it over.
I think Tunisian coach has done a great job to scout from yesterday's game, because they've seen that Central African Republic had those issues against the full court pressing against Ivory Coast, and we see that he's using the same tactic on them, and it brings the success for them so far.
Nasria going one-on-one but missing the shot. Kossi trying to grab that loose ball, but instead it's Mazdak who comes up with it. Quickly down court to Benmeklia. Benmeklia towards Nasria. Underneath the hoop, she turned beautifully there, found the route to the rim and put it in with the contact. Great
read, because they didn't rush their offense. They waited till the space has created for Nasria down at the rim, and easy score for her, even though she had 4 Central African players on her back. And that's exactly the advantage I was speaking about earlier. She needs to use, and she will use in this game.
This is the foul shot, but they grab the offensive rebound, so a chance to make it a 4 or 5 point play here. There's the fake of the pass, driving inside. Benmeklia off the mark, still can't sort out her shooting. Benmeklia. Nasria looking to set a screen, moves inside. Benmeklia left unguarded on the perimeter, looks to drive in, but she's called for a travel.
She just made that first step before she bounced the ball, and that's unfortunately a travel violation.
There's a foul on Benmeklia as well. A couple of disappointing calls for her. Third foul on Tunisia.
It's been a great call by official. She just used her wrong arm to go and steal that ball. She has to use the outside hand if she wants to go for that ball.
Swung across to this near side where Bonga looks to attack, across to Gombalet. Bonga's going to set a screen. Gombalet clinging onto it just about, falling down to her knee, finds Kossi, who throws at one from the outside and misses. Benmeklia pushes it down the floor quickly. Sadek across to Jadidi Misteri, who's stripped to the ball. Now a chance surely for the first field goal for the Central Africans, but Kossi loses it in transition. It looked like they had a 4-on-3 fast break momentarily, and all of a sudden it breaks for Mazdak, and they rub salt in the Central Africans' wounds.
Same I think I've seen from Central African teams yesterday, a little bit more movement in their offense. Today, it just seems that they're looking for Kossi. She just gets the ball, and whatever she creates, that's their style of the game. And I don't think that's the way to win the game, so stay close to the opponents.
I make them 0 of 8 from the field now. Quarterback pass to Lubiri. They'll just slow it down and hold on to it. Do the sensible thing. 4 minutes to play in the quarter. 13 points the lead. Maybe they'll extend that here, and they do, as Lubiri provides the pretty finish.
That was a great play from Tunisian team because they've aimed to run the fast break. They've seen that Central African press has returned really well. So there's no rush. They just set the offense and played the organized game and just gave them easy reverse layup. What we've just seen from Lubiri, Wafa.
Turnover for Gombalet up the other end. Nothing going to plan at the moment for the Central Africans. Turnover number 7. Disappointment all round. Gombalet goes to the bench. 3.5 minutes to play. 16-1 in favour of Tunisia. Just one free throw right at the start of the game for the Central Africans. Sadak. Oh, and it goes towards the low post. Nasria left completely alone.
That's quite a developed game. To share the ball on the perimeter, just keep looking, and my big player down under the very man. She just got a great touch.
Kossi off the mark with that one. Just no joy for her. Ben Meklia down floor with accuracy. That's beautiful fast break basketball. Tunisia hit 20 and lead by 19. Ribéry just got caught across the side of the head there.
Tunisian short players trying to demonstrate that Central African players using their elbows while they're dribbling. For past 3 minutes, they're trying to demonstrate it. I think Lubiri is a little bit acting as well, you know, to show it to referees that they're using their hands, but I was a little bit overacted.
Something to keep an eye on.
That's been a great decision from coach Mohamed Abdallah to take off the court. Lubiri to calm down, just get some breath, and return back, fully concentrated only for the game.
Khalifa into the game, looking to try to go with the behind the back pass. There wasn't really the angle to play it. Fast break for the Central Africans here, all the way down the floor. They still can't hit a field goal. It's the 4th or 5th miss in a row for Kossi, after she was 8 of 14 from the field yesterday.
I just hope we won't see in today's game that Tunisian team will get a little bit too satisfied with that march they have so far, and they're gonna keep playing fully in full speed, full intensity, because okay, this game is probably gonna be quite easy game for them, but they're gonna face the tougher teams. They could have seen it yesterday against Mali. It wasn't as easy, but today I think they just know that they're gonna win this game. But you know, I wouldn't underestimate the Central African team, because once they realize how much privilege is it for them to be here, and they will just get on with the aggressivity and defense on the Tunisian team, I'm sure they still can get back into the game.
Well, they've doubled their tally with Winnie Bonga at the line. And in fact, they're going to get to take that second one again. 2.5 minutes to play in the first. And she gets them both eventually, so they've tripled their tally. 17 points the deficit. Khalifa. Plenty of movement ahead of her. It's tipped away from behind from Kusori Spai, who was heavily involved yesterday.
Kossi is trying to lead her team with that that shows that confidence in today's game, what I just mentioned earlier. To take this long distance shot, that goes confidence.
First three-pointer since the opening seconds. 23-3 the lead. 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Still no field goal for the Central Africans. They grab an offensive rebound though and still can't put it in. Plenty of room to operate for Hamrouni. Simple pass for her. Looked like it could have been a simple finish, but Ksori Spy was off the mark. She was 4 of 13 from the field yesterday. Kossi trapped in the corner, able to find a way out. And they try and wrestle it away from Kumba, and a foul is called.
You've seen a great double in the corner of the court. Double of Central African player's best player. That's been great strategy from the coach, Dalak as well, because he knows that she's the only player who can create it. And if they double her down in the corner of the court, that's quite a high percentage they're going to steal the ball. But unfortunately, they committed foul now. But I'm pretty sure we will see this aggressivity of Tunisian team again.
It's a simple enough tactic in theory. You stop Kossi, you stop the team. Both teams at the foul limit for the first 90 seconds of the quarter to play. 20-point Tunisia lead at 23-3. That one slipped away from the hands of Hamrouni under the defensive pressure. Still going to be Tunisian ball though. They call last touch of Kossi.
The referee would have been close enough to see this touch, so there's no discussion about this call.
We're going to have a timeout with a minute and a half of the quarter to play. Still no field goal after 8.5 minutes to play for the Central Africans. Tunisia have made a very exciting and promising start with plenty of movement and energy, and they lead by 20 points, 23-3.
سوا شو اسمه محرزيه باش يلعب انت الوبوزي تبع داكور باش تعمل تخرجها هاي لا تخرج وداد لوش سينو سي لا باس انتر سينو
voilà ni la paix afi isa gitonso igwe et puis mitena la pas de mitenye kenwe gangu il faut jouer gangu tomwezi sara puta gangu potene asigina zoni
I think it's fair to say they're not too happy on the Central African bench.
To be honest, Tim, I wouldn't be happy either. Yeah, I always say that it's a privilege to be here, but you want to be here and compete. You want to be here and leave everything you have on the court, but we don't see it at the moment from Central African players.
40 years since they were last on this stage, and at the moment it looks as though they might have to wait another 40 for a win at the tournament. Time to turn it around. 5 group stage games, but not looking good here in game 2. Khalifa with the inbound pass deep back to Msadek, who launches a 3. He was looking for her second in quick succession. Rebound though for the Central Africans.
It's been an easy rebound for Central Africans. There was no intention from any Tunisian player go and grab that offensive rebound.
Yene back to Djel, who fires a 3 for them as well. It's another miss. Bit of contact underneath. Here goes Hamrouni, fakes a pass. Finger roll wouldn't go down for her. Yene, bounce pass to Kossi. Bit of space to fire, and a field goal for the Central Africans for the first time. It's taken just over 9 minutes. It had to be Kossi. Screen for Ksori Spy. Khalifa across to the far side. 3-point shot. Hamrouni in and out. Offensive board again. Almost another. But the Central Africans come away with it.
It's been second possession from Tunisian team to try to shoot from 3-point line, but I think they should get back into the strategy they've been using during whole first minutes of this game. When they try to put the ball down under the rim, that's where their advantage is in today's game.
The foul called with 14.4 seconds remaining in the quarter. Tunisia are over the foul limit, so the Central Africans go to the line. A miss from Nina Kumba. Hits the second, so the deficit has been cut from 20 to 17. Final seconds of the quarter. And the Central Africans muster a defensive stop to end the quarter on a little bit of a high. Khalifa full of energy and movement, finding Sori Spy, but she couldn't grab the handle on the ball, and the game clock expires. So 17 points is the difference at the end of one. It's Central African Republic 6, Tunisia 23.
يعني داخل الكادر الفني بوكو وكاله كادر افريقيا وكاله كله فين عايش مراه شنو في الماتش هذا باش يخليك تلعب دون كور هذا باش تلعب دون كور ما ندوش نفدكوا راهو Il doit s'être fort. Il marquait la seconde, vu qu'on dit qu'on doit s'en marquer la seconde, comme il avait mis. Ouais.
We're getting ready to start the second quarter on the second day of the opening game here in Bamako, and Tunisia with a healthy lead by 17 points over the Central African Republic, and Jadidi Misteri involved in that, as too underneath was Nasria. 6 points for her, 6 for Lubiri as well, and 4 for Jadidi Misteri. 7 though leading the way from Sadak, the number 10, who hit a really deep three-pointer, as well as that one inside there. Just the 6 points for the Central Africans and only 1 field goal so far. They're 1 of 11 from the field. Kossi hitting just inside the final minute of the quarter for them. Aside from that, just a few foul shots, and 4 of 8 from the line. And Tunisia, impressive shooting numbers so far, 6 of 10 inside and 2 of 5 from downtown.
And this percentage also demonstrates how smart they play in today's game, because they know where is their advantage, that it's down under the rim, and it's almost 100% you should score from that position. So if they're gonna keep playing smart and using their advantages in today's game, I think we will see a great game from them.
So Spy on the move, created a bit of space for Khalifa. That's as simple as it gets off the inbound pass.
We still see this simple offense from baseline, but it's just about the communication in defense. We could clearly see that Central African players hasn't communicated in defense who's gonna take the player cutting down.
Ayene, the circus shot somehow goes. She just forced it up, hoping. And she got the contact, plenty of it as well, so a chance at a three-point play as they score just their second field goal of the game.
But they have to play with the courage. That's what we just seen now, you know. They just have to, because they have no other choice. They have to be brave to believe in their own abilities, that they can compete at this tournament.
2-on-2 momentarily here, and Tambouni looks to go all the way between the two on defense. Can't hit. Now the numbers in Central African Republic's favour as it comes down the floor to Gial on the baseline. She's blocked off by Nasria as they were looking for back-to-back field goals for the first time. It's a nice pass from Khalifa first, and then the bounce pass, and Hamrouni puts it in with the contact. High-octane stuff from Tunisia.
Great unselfish fast break from Tunisia. We could see a quick first pass from Nasria, and that's the key of running fast break and be successful in it. And the rest of the players just share the ball.
(28-9) the score, a minute into the second quarter. Kumba looking to bang that one in. They grab an offensive rebound and then get themselves a trip to the foul line.
We can also see that Tunisia has stepped back from playing a full court pressing, and straight away it gave some opportunities to Central African players in the offense.
Winnie Bongo's going to have the chance to score a couple from the stripe and take the Central Africans at least to double figures. We knew that other players were going to have to step up because we knew that they would double team, triple team Kossi whenever they had the opportunity to. Here she is with the ball now, getting the offensive rebound off the missed foul shot. Kumba, now Bonga. Bonga looking to play aggressive. Difficult shot though, under high pressure, and then she puts it up again, but she's called for a travel. You have to admire at least the effort and determination there.
And you're absolutely right with it. At this level of basketball, you have to have more players to compete than just one in the team.
Nasria with the high screen, Khalifa around it. Little shake and bake dribble, shot off the mark though. Kossi moving it to Mbai. Mbai to Ayene, who hit that three-point play a few seconds ago, and towards the foul line now to Mbai again. Hook shot from her was off the mark by some distance. Quick release down the floor from Sadak, and a block getting back from Bonga, but a foul.
That's been a great recovery from Bonga. And even better look from Sadak, which is really important player to Tunisian team. I really liked her yesterday as well. She hasn't been leading the team by points, but she does.
Effort seems to have improved.
I would also say that that's the way Tunisian team stepped into the second quarter, because they don't play that full court press anymore. They give the space to Central African Republic's players to create in their offense, and I'm pretty sure that coach Abdallah is going to go back into that pressing very soon.
Kumba, Kossi in the lane, in traffic, throws it up and in.
And believe it or not, this quarter is 4-4 so far, which is not anymore.
Didn't take long.
Didn't take long to change this fact, but as I said, I kind of feel that there's a little bit satisfaction from Tunisian team. You can see they play zone defense right now, practicing some strategies for the games in this tournament.
Khalifa draws the attention of two. She's going to go alone despite the support of two. Didn't need them. Tunisia leading by 21, 3 minutes into the second quarter, 33-12 the score.
You see Tunisia plays 2-3 zone with the top players, quick players, aiming to run a fast break. Exactly, quick steal, simple pass.
Nasria right on the money down the floor. Khalifa not quite on the money herself. Should have been an easy two. Kossi on by Kumba. Will Kossi try and penetrate here? Almost threw it away. She found Kumba. Khalifa was sensing a steal. Kossi. Now she does penetrate, has it blocked from behind, and it's Tunisia ball.
I don't really think that Central African players know what to play against the zone defense. They're just very static right now. They need to try and run through the zone and move it a little bit.
We're going to have a timeout almost 4 minutes into the second quarter. There has been an improvement from the Central Africans, but Tunisia is still way out in front, leading by 21. The score is Central African Republic 12, Tunisia 33.
دكتور انت سلمى toujours ديما ليد ديما سيف اذا كان الكره هنا وراه نداء فيلا اذا كان صارت الهلب هنا اوتوماتيكمون تخلي لاكس واضحه علي
We've seen a couple of different units on the floor for Tunisia. It's pretty much been the same outcome in terms of offense. Sadek leading the way with 7 points for them. In fact, Nasri are now up to 8. Stats have just updated. Lubiri with 6. And they lead by 21, 33 to 12 as we get the game back underway. Khalifa has been full of energy and bright passing since coming in. Onto the corner it goes to Ben Mahmoud. Down the baseline, couldn't find Ben Amur.
When you play against the zone defense, you want to overload it. You want to set the offensive players into the holes of the zone defense. So again, you create that space that defense needs to cover.
Just nothing happening for Kossi. She got partly blocked, then threw up an air ball. Tunisia again attempting transition, and having that every time.
That should have been a must score, easy layup.
Kumba midway point of the second quarter. Still very static from the Central Africans, no movement. Seeing contrasting offenses at both ends of the floor. Ben Mahmoud. Nasria coming out to maybe set the screen. Ben Mahmoud gets to the foul line with a bit of space, tried to return it back. Deflected away.
It's been a great start into the offense to start with the pick and roll to make sure that they switch, because they've read the defense of Central African's players, that they're switching the screens and they wanted to create a mismatch straight in the first minute of the offense, and that's what happened. But unfortunately the pass from Ben Mahmoud was into the feet of her big player. You have to give the ball high because all the Central African players are quite short, so you don't want to pass down low for your big player.
Khalifa. Ben Amur. Ben Mahmoud, can she pick a better pass this time? Instead she throws up the long two, and in fact it's an air ball. It's not quite happened for her since coming in. Kossi playing big minutes again, as inevitably she will. In fact, it was Kalene who had it knocked away. Back out it comes to Gombalet off the mark. Offensive rebound, Dumbai. Trying to find the angle to bank it in. Here's Kossi. Gombalet across to the far side. Tamrouni quick to bounce, fakes the pass, puts it in, gets the contact as well. perfect play from Huda Hamrouni.
In basketball, you can make mistakes, which is Hamrouni did after that rebound. She put the ball down and just gave the ball Central African players. But what's important in basketball is the action after. You make a mistake, and important thing is how you're going to react to it after. And now we've seen that Hamrouni has read that long pass, the skip pass, overhauled defense, stole the ball and finished with N1. Great replacement of the mistake of her.
She is their bright young star, 23 now, so youthful, but also with an element of experience. And she led them with 12 points yesterday, shot the ball well in difficult circumstances, in a difficult atmosphere against one of the top teams in Mali.
Let's see if the Central African team's going to communicate better now in defense, in the same out of bounds.
Travel called as they trap Ben Amur on the baseline.
I don't really think it's necessarily to penetrate into the baseline, because Central African team plays great double down by that line. I think they just need to get back into the movement from the top of the half court and just move the ball, share the ball, give the touches to their bigs and play easy.
Kossi.
Tunisian team back into man-to-man defense.
Kalene short, touched the bottom of the net, and now Tunisia can look to run. Fired quickly into the hands of the big inside Mefta. Looked to hit on the turn. She gets a second chance, pirouettes right into trouble. Kossi was looking to wrestle the ball off it.
What does the Central African Republic's players does really well past couple of minutes is to filling the space inside. Because there's no way that the bigs could just spin in there or dribble in there. So Tunisian team needs to make them move and get out of that paint to create that space for their bigs.
23 points the lead, 35-12 with 3 minutes and change remaining in the first half. Kossi. Gombalet across to Kalene, who just fires the static three. It's short. Hamrouni the rebound. Khalifa to go to the right, jinks to the left, and then retreats, looking to create some room as the screen comes out from Ben Amur. They're moving across towards this near side. Shilly, lovely feed back, and they get the bounce they deserve from Ben Amur.
And that's exactly what I've spoken about, you know. The point guard of Tunisian team calls the big get out of the paint to create that space, play pick and roll, one more extra pass, and the space is there. Great play.
Gombalet stuck to so tightly by Marwa Shilly. Another one of their younger talents. Kossi on the turn, found a bit of room to operate, unable to hit. Hamrouni another rebound. And they're saying she got the last touch, so it's going to be Central African ball.
Hamrouni is not happy with this goal. She was trying to explain to the referee that the ball has been deflected out of bounds.
So they're going to inbound with Kalene. And Tunisia are able to grab it, but a toe on the line.
Great hands with Benamir Beta. It's always important to deflect the ball.
Kossi trying to arch her back to hit that one. She was too close to the baseline. It's been a frustrating half for her, for all of her teammates as well. Khalifa's three off the mark. Grabbed on the rebound by her opposite number, Gombalet. Into the final 2 minutes of the half. The lead is up to 25 for Tunisia. Little head fake one way, missed shot the other way though by Yagba.
It's a shame now that Benamir Beta hasn't gave that look in the front court, because there's been a wide open teammate for the layup.
Hamrouni had Shilly open on the perimeter there, but chose to drive inside instead and got called for the offensive foul. I think for a second she was expecting free throws.
I think it's because Sadak is sitting on the bench right now, and she's the one creating for this team. Also, Ben Mechlia is sitting on the bench, and we can see the second five of Tunisian team, and they're a little bit struggling to find a way how to overplay Central African team's place. And that's the answer. Easy game will overplay the Central African Republic's style of defense.
Kossi, she gets away and should score here, and she does. And in fact, there's a chance to add one more from the line as well.
It's been a little bit underestimation from Maftah in defense. She hasn't read Kossi well. I think she haven't met her yet. So, because if she would have, she would know that Kossi's gonna go straight away to the basket and use her aggressivity and athleticism.
And she completes the three-point play. A couple of field goals in quick succession towards the end of this half for the Central Africans. Might be the first time they've done that. Khalifa pulls back for the two. That is beautiful. A step back and then she drains it. Kilene able to hit. So it's 3 in a row for the Central Africans.
Yeah, well, we've just seen a great individual action for Khalifa, but she was the player who has to protect the fast break as well, and she haven't done it. You know, she was just satisfied, oh, I've done great action now, individual action, but she forgot to get back into the defense.
Final 20 seconds of the half. There's a miss there, but then a foul on the rebound. Before that, the baskets were flying in at both ends of the floor.
All the key players sitting on the bench now from Tunisian team. And we see that the tempo of the game is dropping down from the point of Tunisian team. Obviously that gives the opportunities to Central African Republic team to attack the basket more. We've seen them run a couple fast breaks as well, which is not too typical for this team, what we've seen so far. So great effort from this inexperienced team.
First free throw miss for Katia Kileni. She was the team's second best scorer yesterday with 11 points in 19 minutes. 6 of those points came from the stripe. She was only 2 of 8 from the field. She's 0 of 2 from the line on that trip. Final 10 seconds or so of the first half. Hamrouni looking to push it quickly down the floor.
Great recovery.
Yagba.
Great recovery for Yagba. She has read that intention from Tunisian team to put the ball down under the rim.
24-point Tunisian lead, 43-19, 8.3 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So a timeout as the Tunisian coach looks to draw up one final shot.
Mais non, n'hésitez pas.
You know, Tim, this is always really exciting time for me as a former player to see what strategy the coach is going to come out with for the last seconds of the game and how good or bad the player is going to cope with these instructions. So I think we will see some set offense from coach Abdallah now for these last 8 seconds of the game, of the first half.
And the lead for Tunisia 24, and they'll look to extend that here with 8.3 remaining in the second quarter. Khalifa it will be to inbound the ball from the baseline. Oh, it's a quick pass into Hamrouni who misses, and they give up time for the Central Africans to try and score the last basket of the half. And still might do that. And then the clock expires at the end of the second quarter. So they drew up a play that lasted about a second in that timeout, but Hamrouni with the miss was a decent look. And at the half, Central African Republic 19, Tunisia 43.
I think we've seen 2 different quarters. The first quarter, Tunisian team just jumped on the court, ready to compete, ready to give their all. And the second quarter, Coach Abdullah gave space a lot to the bench players to play. So the intensity of that Tunisian offense and defense has dropped lower down. But, you know, it's important to give those minutes to the players because the tournament is long. They will play loads of minutes in the next games as well, their key players. So it's such good to see in this game that the coach Abdullah just gives minutes to bench players as well. Where else to use the bench players than in this game when they had lead by so many points? And I can expect them to come into the third quarter again with the first 5 and again to set the tempo of the game and send the message to the Central African team players to say, look, we're here to win this game today.
They've spread the minutes around, they've spread the scoring around too, but leading the way, the 8 points apiece for Nasria and for Hamrouni, who perhaps has been the standout player. 8 points, 5 rebounds for her, 7 as well for Zadak. The half-time score is Central African Republic 19, Tunisia 43. Welcome back to the Palais des Sports, half-time between the Central African Republic and Tunisia. Tunisia well out in front, firmly in control, lead 43-19 at the break. They've spread their minutes and they're scoring around. A couple of players on 8 points in Hamrouni Nasri, 7 points from Mazadak as well, 6 for Lubiri, 5 for Khalifa. Plenty of contribution. The coach giving everyone a chance to get some minutes on the floor. This, of course, the middle game of 3 games on 3 days in a row, so it's the best opportunity perhaps to give players a bit of a break instead of playing long minutes in 3 games in 3 consecutive days. For the Central African Republic, 14 points out of their 19 for Kossi. She's actually improved immensely in that second quarter against Tunisia's second unit, and ended the half 6 of 13 from the field after a very slow start where I think she missed her first 4 or 5 shots. Aside from that, they've only had points from the foul line.
It has been a quite tough game for Kossi today because it's such hard to play against set defense by herself, against the full court press, against a double team, against the zone defense. I really would love to see any of the player from Central African Republic to step up and help her a little bit in this competition of today. What I really liked was the first 5 of Tunisian team. The style they played, they share the ball really well, they read the defense really well, they've always found an open player without a necessity of taking any dribbles. They also had the intensity in the defense, which brought them the offense because it was quite easy to steal the ball or take a quick rebound and just run the fast breaks. And I think we will see it again.
Here we go, start of the second half. Tunisia leading by 24, 43-19. Start with the ball.
what Tunisia wants. They're using their quickness, they're using their brains as well, because I would say they play really smart in this game today.
Bemeklia missing the second rebound. Gegbalet. Yagba fakes the pass out to the perimeter, gets contact inside.
She was waiting till Yagba drove into the basket for that layup and committed that foul. I would have suggested to go and foul her even before, because they were running 2-on-1. So that was quite a difficult situation to sort out in the defense. She could have committed that foul before that shot, so she wouldn't send them on the fine line.
She misses the first foul shot. The Central Africans haven't scored a point yet since the restart. 3 minutes and 7 seconds. It took them over 9 minutes to get their first field goal in the game. Still wait for that first point of the second half. Here's Hamrouni, lost the handle on the ball. Kaleni comes away with it at pace as well, with purpose as well. Goes all the way through, misses the shot though. Kossi had it deflected her way. Yagba back to Kossi, they have to score here and they do.
Couple of mistakes from Tunisian team now, rushing their offense. Gave that opportunity to Central African team to score easy 2 points.
Bemeklia, and the teammate coming in through the back door. Still going to be Tunisia ball.
We've seen the same offense again now, but at the other possession it was just a big player who received the back screen, but now it has been another big, but cutting from the top of the key, great spacing.
Hesitation, bounce pass from Bemeklia, they missed the shot. There's a little fake from Kossi, she looks to plough her way through the defence, and then a foul. It's on Hamrouni, that one by the looks of it, so that's going to be her third. There's 4 fouls each already.
It's been great effort from Gegbalet. She kind of read that. She has to go to grab that offensive rebound to give another opportunity for scoring 2 points from the foul line. We always say in basketball, you miss, you receive. And that's what happened now. Couple last possessions. Tunisia made 2 mistakes in a row. Now they missed open layup. And again, Central African Republic's players using that mistakes to score a couple of the points.
Gegbalet hitting the second foul shot. 5 points and 8 rebounds for her yesterday. Left unguarded on the perimeter was Bemeklia to make them pay.
That's too easy. We could see that the defense dropped down under the screen. And Ben Mechlia just had a wide open shot.
Gegbalet to Kossi. Kaleni able to get into the lane. Little left-handed hook push wouldn't go. They're not going to save that on the baseline with Msadak.
I wouldn't say that was the best decision to make for that pass. 2 players running at the same side. I think Tunisian teams need to spread out the floor a little bit to give more angles for that pass. That's why it led into this mistake.
Midway point of the third quarter, Tunisia 55. The Central Africans 22, 33 points the lead, if you can do the maths. Knocked away, still Central African ball, right in front of their bench. There's some pretty disgruntled figures, some heads hanging. Plenty of questions being asked. Here's Hamrouni, got the steal. Fakes the pass, waits for the trail. No look pass back out. Hamrouni for 3, beautifully done.
I think she needed this shot. She just made a couple of mistakes in her offense, and to hit this 3 could give her back that feeling for the game.
Into double figures now, Hamrouni.
I really like the backcourt of Tunisian team of Sadak and Lowberry. They are very quick. They play really smart. and they just provoking the other teams to make mistakes the way they play. And they are really supported by Hamrouni, Ben Mechlia and Nasria. Great balance in the team.
We've seen this team against a very strong opposition in Mali yesterday, and now much weaker opposition in the form of the Central African Republic. Do you think they're a team that will be targeting the quarterfinals?
I would say never, because Tunisia can upset some of the favorite teams of this group. What I would say, I think will be a little bit of disadvantage of Tunisian team further in this tournament is the short bench. I think the first 5 play completely different basketball than the bench players, and I think that could hurt them when they play the tougher games at this tournament.
We saw that in the second quarter of this game. Here's Kossi down the baseline, able to find their teammate right over the top of the hoop though by Yagba, and a chance to run the floor again. Touch pass from the Sadak, and the layup simple enough for Lubiri. She wanted the and one.
I just can't help it. Lubiri from Tunisia is that type of player. She doesn't like any contact, you know, because in yesterday's games against Mali we could see as well that she was in a contact with some players trying to fight her a little bit, and I'm sure that Coach Abdallah is fully aware of it, because that's the second time he took her out of the court after these similar situations when she's not controlling her emotions.
60-23, Tunisia lead. 4 minutes of the third to play. And by Kumba. Swung around by Kossi to the far side, where they look to attack in traffic, thrown straight into the hands of Ben Mechlia.
That's a great drop from Ben Mechlia.
Khalifa, oh, put in by Nasria.
Wow, such a great offense.
Great pass and the quick finish. 3-point shot at the other end falls for Yagba. There's not been many, if any, of those for the Central Africans.
That could have been probably a highlight of this game. I just wish she just jumped high enough to dunk this. Great pass.
Ben Mechlia putting it in. Will take the alley-oop layup.
And again, we've seen the same situation over and over in the offense of Tunisia, that they just set that back screen on the big player, and Central African players doesn't communicate it well, and they don't switch, they don't push, they don't punch. They just let the player cut to the basket.
Nasria, who provided that highlight reel finish a few moments ago. Khalifa, who provided the highlight reel pass. Hamrouni, Ben Mechlia. She gets fouled as she looks to penetrate. So Bonga. Both teams over the foul limit in the third. Still 2 minutes and 41 to play. Ben Mechlia out the line has been running the show today for Tunisia. A couple of assists to her name. Some very good passing. We've seen great passing from Khalifa as well.
I think the style of Tunisian basketball, it will be nice to see the game against Angola when they play on Sunday at 2 o'clock, because I think the matchup is brilliant, you know. Angolan team has Itali Lucas in their roster on the perimeter. They have a good picks as well, and I think that's going to be a very exciting game.
Coquito, laisse-moi la boire béni, à la bloquer mon Sigi, laisse-moi mon à la ballon, à la li, Sigi bande de tiliti 3 points, à la bouée, à Kangala, Kina Nina mon béni, mon manière pour mon béni.
Ok, il faut essayer de donc il 5 pour le 4. Il faut partir là et puis qu'un drôle. السباس كله لاعب ليبري كنت هذاك انت وديت كان وحدك في كونتينيو جاتك ليد على اليمين اللي شو دار على جنب حضري اوكي يلا هاي تونس سميوه وديت.
We come back off the timeout with Tunisia leading by 40 now. It's a lead that's grown and grown throughout the course of this game. 66-26 the score. And you look around at the distribution of the points and it shows how well they've played this as a team. We have seen some really good team basketball. 4 players in double figures, another on 8 as well. Central Africans start with the ball with Ayeni after this timeout. It goes in towards the foul line, it's stripped straight away. Ben Meklia will take her time. Rooney around the screen, away from 2, away from a third. Oh, wonderful from Rooney as she ploughs through the paint to finish with the contact.
That was a beautiful reverse layup. She used to go under with her lower hand to avoid that block. And she just provoked to get fouled. Great individual action.
You can see why she's regarded as the standout young star in Tunisian basketball as she completes the three-point play. 13 points for her now to lead those 4 players in double figures for Tunisia. That's after 12 points yesterday. Kossi finds a gap, gets the contact as she puts it in.
This is too easy. Tunisia a little bit overslept in the defense because there was no one even dropping down from the weak side. It was a completely open court for Kossi to penetrate.
2 minutes of the third to play, a chance for Kossi to complete the three-point play that would take it back to a 40-point game. Kossi leading all scorers in this one with 16. Nobody else for her team, though, with more than 5 points. In fact, nobody with more than 3 points, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, and that's the problem for Central African Republic at this tournament, that Kossi just can't play all tournament by herself.
Oh, Rooney hitting them from all angles now as she knocks down the 3. She's taken charge of this third quarter. 16 points for Rooney. The Central Africans unable to answer back, but it's tipped out of bounds by Khalifa. Fake on the pass, and the option wasn't there. They recover it on this near side. Yamalet back to Kossi. Kossi in traffic squeezes that one in. Having to force everything right now, but she's continuing to rack up her own personal tally. And Rooney with the hot hand into Nasria, and she's fouled. 72 seconds remaining in the third. 72-31 the score.
I think Central African players are not happy. They're kind of trying to explain that Nasria is using her elbows to get open, but you know, the basketball is painful game, and I don't think there was any intention of her to injure any of the Central African players. So I think they should just stay concentrated on the game and not on these low contacts in basketball.
Yeah, contrary to some opinion, this is very much a contact sport. Nasria at the line, unable to hit.
The basketball at this level really hurts, you know. There's loads of contacts, loads of kind of not intentional hits as well. And obviously the Central African Republic's players are not experienced enough, so they're not used to these contacts.
Kossi as they steal it back at half court, balance on the baseline with Yamalet. And then a foul on Rooney. That would be her 4th. Tunisia's standout player with 16 points. Now treading a fine line. She Sent Kumba to the line. .46 left in the third. Offensive rebound off the missed free throw. They can't complete that three-point play with Yamalet.
It's been a great recovery from Central African Republic's players. But again, silly decision just to use the hands to try to deflect the ball, to steal the ball, and they committed a foul and sent the player straight away to give her two free throws.
Yeah, both teams at the foul limit, so any foul on the defense sends the fouled player to the line. It's Ben Meklia on this occasion for Tunisia. She takes full advantage of the situation, hits them both. Ben Meklia in double figures as well now, so before the end of the third quarter, 5 in double digits for Tunisia. Still feasibly another couple that could get to that milestone as well.
And we can see again the zone defense from Tunisian team, so we can expect some fast break to be run.
Off the side of the backboard, here is the fast break. Khalifa looked to create a bit of room, but she was stuck to in the end by Yamalet. Did well to divert the ball away. Final 10 seconds of the quarter now. A chance to attack for Kossi against Nasria. The whistle with 5 seconds of the quarter to play. It's foul shots for Tunisia. With the Central Africans over the foul limit, they come all the way down the other end of the floor to try and add to their sizable lead. Nasria takes the opportunity to do so. 12 points in the game for her. The lead 45 after that one. Final 5 seconds of the quarter. Kossi try and get it to a point where they can just heave it up, but they don't have time to do that. And that brings the third quarter to a close. Tunisia have increased their lead each and every minute of this one. And it's a lead that stands at 45 at the end of the third, with 5 players in double figures, led by the 16 of Hamrouni. It's Central African Republic 32, Tunisia 77. We're getting ready to start the fourth quarter of this one. Tunisia lead by 45, 77-32. They're led by the 16 points of Hamrouni, their young star. They've got 5 in double figures. Nasria with 13, 11 for Masadak, 10 apiece for Lubiri and for Ben Meklia. And they've all been getting in on the act. It's been a really tough morning here in Bamako for the Central African Republic, who had a heavy defeat in game 1 yesterday, now facing their second heavy defeat in as many days. For them, it's all been about Betty Kossi, the only player who's really been scoring 18 of their 32 points. Nobody else with more than 3.
We could see that Coach Abdallah kept his first 5 on the floor as much as possible this quarter. I think he doesn't want the tempo to drop down as much as it did from their side in the second quarter. So we can see on the court there's now a bench players coming on together with Loberi, who has been a bit emotional in this game. I think Tunisian team takes this game almost like a training for them. We see loads of changes in terms of defense of them, in terms of offense. So I think they're just quite comfortable in this game today.
Kossi looking to hit the 20-point mark for the second game in a row. Needs one more basket to do so. She's going to try and get that basket right here, and does. So at the start of the fourth quarter, 20 points already for Kossi, and a foul as well. Looks like the call has gone the other way.
It looks like emotions are continuing, you know. I don't see a reason really, because the gap is quite big between these two teams. So hopefully both teams will stay concentrated and finish this game strong.
Siwa Khalifa, who's got to the foul line at the other end of the floor, been able to hit them both. Sorry, Spy. She's not played a lot today, the number 13, after being heavily involved yesterday. It's not been the most fluid start to the fourth quarter.
Not at all. And that's why it's important for players to reconcentrate again the game plan they have.
Yamalet was screaming for the ball coming in off this near side, but it was a difficult pass to play under pressure. It didn't come her way. Instead it goes into the low post eventually towards Ayeni. She turns it over. Lubiri, one of those 5 in double figures.
That the players just collapsed on her, and she just had a wide open look for her teammate.
Offensive foul called. 2 Tunisian fouls in the opening 67 seconds of the fourth. Just to the back of that picture, you saw the contact from Lubiri. Kossi. There's all kinds of contact going on. She's gone down now, up against the Betty Kossi. That's the ball handler Kumba we were seeing, but the contact was away from that. Khalifa, there's more contact towards the chin of Jadidi Misteri as well. And then on the far side,
I'm just not quite sure what's happening at the moment on the court. The game is like by almost 40 points, 45 points difference, and there's been some personal fights going on between Kossi and Lubiri.
You don't want anything that escalates and heats up and bubbles over and forces trouble for any of the players when the game is just about in the bag for Tunisia. They need to keep their cool, keep their heads. We're going to have a timeout. Just less than a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Tunisia leading by 45-79 to 34.
When it comes to these situations, I would say the wiser players should just step back. I understand they don't want to get hurt, but I haven't seen the fouls that bad with the intention to hurt players. And I think Tunisia should now really reconcentrate, because the game is in their hands, and I don't see any reason why they would overact the fouls, why they would provoke this situation. It just doesn't help to anyone, you know, even though I believe that the fouls are there, but there must be something personal going on in there. We can't obviously hear what the players are talking about between each other. There could be some trash talk as well between them. And I'm really expecting them to manage the situation a bit better. Otherwise, this last period of the game would take probably like half an hour to go.
And there's really no need for it to. 45-point Tunisia lead. And here we go, the officials calling all the players in. I'm just saying that there needs to be a stop to this. It's completely unnecessary.
And it's a complete mess, to be honest, these first minute and a half of the last period of the game. So it has been a quite smart decision from official to call all players in and explain them the limits they have and they can't cross.
Let's hope that that puts an end to it. Lupiri misses from the line as we come back from the timeout. 10 points for her so far, 4 fouls. And Rooney's on 4 fouls for Tunisia as well. A couple of players on 4 for the Central Africans, Gombalet and Bonga.
We see now complete second half of second fives of the Tunisian team on the court.
Shilly doing well to get down the baseline and finish. Kossi. Yamalet.
Almost seemed like she just walked into the player to hand the ball.
Kumba runs into the double team, almost had it stripped, somehow able to get out of that situation with the ball in her hands. And they'll fire the 3, Gegbalet.
The shot clock violation. Central African players hasn't managed to time properly in this possession.
Khalifa, we do apologise if you're not seeing the shot clock on your screens, or the game clock or score for that matter at the moment. A few difficulties here in Mali. Shilly, Khalifa, the 3, she got hit on the 3-point shot and a chance at a 4-point play.
Love this action. It's always quite unique for a player to score 3-point shot with the foul, and that's basically the maximum points almost you can score in basketball at the same time as 4 when you hit that 3-point shot, and you have still 1 shot from the foul line. I don't think the referee likes still the style of Central African players in defense. I think they're using too much their hands.
What have they called here? Clifford took the extra foul shot, but it's still Tunisia possession. It may have been a technical for something that somebody said or did. Shilly will inbound from centre court. When it goes to Ben Mahmoud. Shilly almost had it stripped, but eventually, well, looked like she might have been fouled, but she's turned it over. Keleni. Nayeni. Trying to work it in towards Yamalet, but to no avail. Tunisia come away with it. 85-34 the score for Tunisia. Shilly going coast to coast, fizzes the pass in. And Xori Spy, who had a difficult shooting game yesterday, not getting on the mark today either.
That's what happens when you double guess your shot or your action, if it's even pass or shot. It usually doesn't lead into the success.
Kossi threw the pass one way, the intended target moved the other way, and they turn it over. Lack of communication. We've only played just over 3 minutes of this fourth quarter. It seems to have lasted forever already. Khalifa out to Shilly, wide open shot from outside, can't hit. Rebound grabbed by Yamalet.
There's a load of contact in there from Shilly.
Yeni into the lane, gets contact as well, and throws it up and in. Came down with snow on it, that one.
And I think whoever said that basketball is not a contact game, I should have watched today's first game, you know, between these two teams, because I think there's been now loads contact between the players on the court.
Yeni completes the three-point play. There'll be a few bumps and bruises tomorrow after this one. 85-37, the Tunisian lead. Ben Mahmoud over the head pass into Benamir. She's trapped in the paint, and the foul called again.
Great call by official. It's a shame that Benamir Betta didn't try to shoot that ball. She could have just, you know, get those 2 free throws back, because obviously she didn't even look at the rim. It was quite a clear decision from refs to give them the ball from the sideline.
Quite often when you have a blowout as this one has turned into, 85-37, you get a quicker game in the second half, but certainly not today. It's been about as stop-start as you can get.
I think the players slept on the wrong side of the bat in terms of their emotions in this game, because it's been obvious that some tension is going on between all of them.
Tunisian coach has just called a couple of his players over to have a word with them. There's things to sort out for the officials as well, who've certainly earned their money in this one.
Yeah, and he put back his main point guard, Ben Mechlia, I think to calm down the game a little bit, to organize. Again, not to try to force by dribble, but more by passes, to avoid that contact and these situations, which could be quite controversial.
Shilly, here is Ben Mechlia. Quick pass out to Ben Mahmoud. They're wanting to go into Benamur. More contact inside as Kossi tried to stick with her. You can see all kinds of contact there.
Kossi has picked up her 3rd foul now, and it's still 6 minutes to go. But she's experienced enough to manage that and finish this game on the court.
It's a wonder nobody's fouled out yet.
I think there's been more talks and discussions than real calls by officials.
Rebound Keleni. Kossi out to this near side, free passage into the paint. Nice step as well, but the missed shot from Yamalet.
A huge misunderstanding in the Tunisian defense, because there were 3 players on Kossi, and now no one was guarding her and allowed her to score 2 easy points.
Quick catch and shoot off the inbound. Ben Mahmoud slows it down, steps back, moves it inside. The shot missed by Benamir. Offensive rebound though. Ben Mahmoud, she'll fire from the corner herself this time and knocks it down.
It was a great hustle from her to go grab that offensive rebound, and it just gave her a second chance to score, which they just did.
Yamalet.
Again, we see the zone defense from Tunisia.
And Keleni answers back with one from the outside for the Central African Republic. Ben Mechlia, midway point of the final quarter, 88-42, Tunisia lead. Ben Mechlia returning it back into Benamur again. She misses again.
But see, that's what I talked about. The main point guard, Ben Mechlia, is just creating the situations for her teammates really well at this game.
Shot off the mark, offensive rebound grabbed by Gegbelet. And the contact, there was a bit of contact before that as well, as she bumped into Mefta. See it there.
It's hard to decide, you know, it's hard to judge because the elbow is there. But now was it, I think she hasn't moved the elbow away from her body. So again, it hasn't been any intention to hurt anyone, but referees might need to call some of these situations as a foul.
Double dribble under her own basket from Khaloud Mefta. Turns it over, 4.5 minutes to play.
Now again, zone defense. We probably will see a fast break from that as well.
Ayene to fire the 3, air ball, recovered underneath, and the foul.
Yeah, but to be able to run fast break, you have to first box people out. That's a tough task in zone because no one has guarding no one. They're just defending the space on the court, so the players has to really concentrate to box out the closest player to them. That's what it didn't happen, and Ian has got great rebound and has been fouled.
And he misses the first foul shot. And misses them both. They try and recover the offensive rebound, almost lost it between 3 of them. And in fact they do in the end. 4 players involved in trying to grab it. Tunisia all the way down the floor, simple 2 for Ben Amir.
And you see Tim, when they pass the ball, when they avoid to dribble too much, there's not contact possible as much as when they're forcing those dribbles. So that's the way they should finish this game and play right now.
Ben Mahmoud, quick release, Ben Amir inside, much better from her now. It is still Tunisia ball.
It's been great to see this pass and go from 2 Tunisian players. Such important after the pass to make that quick step to cut behind the defense. And that's what Tunisia is showing in this game quite often, and they're really good at it.
Ben Amir onto Ben Mahmoud. She's trying to shake off the attentions of her opposite number. It goes the other way. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. 92-47.
Well, we have to give the credit to Central African Republic's players. The second half is